everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are safe and you are with someone you care about who also cares about you. This is the second time I have recorded this video. We have had some issues with our GoPros. They are getting very old. They are randomly stopping recording, and because we've been filming today with the GoPro 9s, we recorded the chicken and garden on Sunday with the GoPro 8s, and they just randomly stopped recording, which is why the chicken and garden update seems to have quite an abrupt end to it. I apologise, but I decided it was good enough to keep going. But unfortunately, the Sunday musing had a different problem, which was sun streaks across the lens, which was causing problems for me. So let's see if I can remember what I said. I have been recording videos all day. It is currently coming up to 4:45 in the evening. I think we started filming at 10 a.m. I am talked out. I am ready for not talking for a couple of days, and I have one more video to film. Woe is me. Anyway, thanks to all of the wonderful, kind people who made comments to last week's video about long-distance EV trips. Many of you said, yeah, I do worry about making long-distance trips. And some of you are like, nope, no problem at all. The wonderful Did Great said, yeah, I'd travel. I'd consider traveling from Florida all the way to Oregon to come to a TE event. And I think that shows that many people are like, no, I think EVs are here as long as I take my time, as long as I have access to charging, as long as I have a car that charges reasonably well and I have a reliable network I can use, I am happy. And that seemed to be kind of the general consensus. But today I want to talk to you a little bit about something related, but different, if that makes sense. And I'm going to explain. I want to know what your ideal vehicle size is, because I think what automakers are asking us and telling us about what customers want versus what people actually want is kind of different. So this week we had the Ford F-150 Lightning to review, and we've already had that obviously a couple of years ago. We have the 2025 sitting on my driveway right now. We just filmed the review with it today. Obviously I drive a Ford F-150 Lightning, and so I'm very familiar with the vehicle, and I'm very familiar with the fact that many people say it's too big, right? It's just too big for my needs. It's too big for what I want, and it doesn't make sense for me to own one or drive one. And I think for many people, that is definitely true. And you've heard my spiel before on the channel, on the main channel, about why we have an F-150 Lightning at the channel, how it fits into my personal needs, and how I have a Chevrolet Bolt EV that the camera is currently on top of. That is the vehicle that I use for most things. And then I also have the Vectrex VX1, which, while it's off the road right now, will hopefully perform like this great trinity of vehicle practicalness, right? So we'll have the Vectrex for me to take when I just want to go somewhere on my own. We'll have the Bolt when we want to run local errands, and then we have the truck if we want to go long distance and or tow and or haul and or farm, wood, whatever. So that works really well for us, and we're very privileged to be able to have that, where we have multiple different vehicles. That's not always been the case, and for many people, one vehicle is all they're going to need or all they want to have, and therefore trying to gauge and figure out where that ideal size is can be problematic. I know many people who buy vehicles based on that once a year trip across multiple states or countries to visit relatives, or that once a year ski trip, or that once a year back to school towing session, or whatever it happens to be. And I wonder if that is helping to increase the size of our vehicle fleet. And of course, the larger vehicles are, the more congestion we have, the more fuel people waste, the more energy people waste sitting in traffic. And so I'm very curious as to what you personally consider the right sized vehicle for your local area. Now, we could obviously go one step further and say what's the right sized vehicle that people should be doing, but I believe it's a regional thing. And for here in the Pacific Northwest, I think, the right sized vehicle for most people happens to be a Subaru. Like an Outback or something like that seems to be what most people gravitate towards. Many people gravitate towards smaller hatchbacks, and yes, there's an increasing number of large SUVs and pickup trucks on our roads, but I think most people don't actually need vehicles that large. And I would argue that unless you are regularly doing super long distance road trips, you are towing large amounts of stuff or hauling large amounts of stuff on a regular basis, you probably don't need a big pickup truck or an SUV, especially if you're just commuting to and from work every day in it. And when people criticize me for owning a big electric pickup truck, I have to remind them that most of the time it just sits on my driveway and operates as backup power for my home. So while different people have different use case scenarios and different requirements, I think there has to be like it's equivalent to the corporate average fuel economy, right? It's a corporate average vehicle size. Let's call it that. What do you think that is? Where do you think that sits? Obviously, I think it depends on your age and your health. I think a lot of people end up with larger vehicles than they really need, but at the same time, you know, if you have mobility issues, maybe a vehicle that's a little higher off the ground or maybe a little larger inside is going to be beneficial to you. But of course, EVs tend to have more interior volume for a given exterior size, because they don't have to worry about engines and things inside the vehicle. They can just have a very low floor in the vehicle and more luggage space inside, so that means they tend to have one size up in terms of interior volume compared to a comparable gasoline vehicle of a similar exterior dimension. So that might not necessarily be a good starting point there, but I would love to know where you sit on this, because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I think it would be good to try and ascertain a proper vehicle size. Oh, excuse me, we just have I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is still working. After trying to record this multiple times and having camera failures, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was still working. Forgive me. I'm very neurodivergent today. So yeah, tell me in the down below what you think your average vehicle size is, because I think it's going to be surprising. I think more people are going to gravitate towards smaller vehicles than larger vehicles. Let me know whereabouts in the world you live, because I think that is going to influence it. And also, why the heck not give me your target average fuel economy in miles per kilowatt hour, or MPG if you don't drive an EV. Give me a target figure, because I think it's actually much different to what people think it is. After driving all the way to LA and back in the Chevrolet Bolt last week, I can tell you that I had a really good time. I really enjoyed myself, and honestly, that car felt like the perfect size for me. I know that it's probably a weird thing to admit to, but that's how I felt. So let me know in the down below, and I will see you back here this time next week. Hopefully this has recorded all the way through, unlike the chicken and garden and the previous Sunday musing. Be kind, be awesome, and make sure that you tell the important people in your life that they are important to you. Take care.
Thanks for watching us today. You can connect with us on Patreon, Discord, Mastodon, Blue Sky, or through our website. Huge thanks to the amazing folks scrolling by right now. You're the reason we can stay independent and keep making content without corporate influence. And right now is a perfect time to join. Through September and October, we're running our autumn Patreon drive. Sign up and you'll not only support the channel, but you'll also get an exclusive piece of digital art from Erin. Want to see your name here too? Support starts at just $1.50 US a month, and you can even gift memberships. And of course, a massive welcome to our newest members: NYTMR, Chris Wright, C&K Adventuring, Andy Pyatt, Gerald Eden, Carlikos, Chip Chandler, Robert Nelson, 00 Critical, Tom Fagden, Barry 2379, Mike Coffeen, James River, Eric Knack, Hans Rose, DW, Meryl Fratkin, Kristen Rasmussen, MX Menivar Vargas, Stephen Nichols, Panther Legion, Kitsa Prida, Bark Eater J, Jeff Good, Conrad Zalance, Frank Snyder, Jeffrey Smith, Tony Roberts, Matthew Frake, Jacqueline Cockburn, Fritz Coker, Trans Vegan Cyclist, Jade Diaz, Laura Shear-Clark, Everett Garnett, Peter Broadwell, Jerry, Jeremy Redmond, Patrick Matthias, Pamela Not Pam, Dave Fry, Mark Anderson, Tal Hobson, C. Daniel Tideman, Martin May, Fee, Donovan, Date Downs, Matthew Buckar, Zach C., Taraki, Kathy Windandy, Alex, Patricia Connor, Lindy Melendez, Dameron Can, Gary Robotham, Dave Miles, Tina Pongnish, Mark Kruger, and Tyler Walker. Thank you all for joining in the last month. You're helping us hit our goal of growing Patreon support by 20 to 40% this autumn. Prefer a one-off contribution? We've got Ko-fi, Bitcoin, and a PO box, our swag store, and even an Amazon affiliate link, so your money helps us, not Jeff Bezos. We post new videos every few days on the main channel, plus extras on Transport Evolved Take 2, and since YouTube comments aren't safe for us anymore, the best way to chat is through Patreon, Mastodon, Blue Sky, or our website. If you want more, the algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we'd love you to check this one out too. Be awesome, be kind, be intentional, and never forget to resist. Keep evolving!